2 failed installations of a travertine pool deck. Just awful. Let me show you everything that's wrong with this installation. The pavers at the edge sank and shifted. Why? Paver edging was never installed. Travertine is a porous and permeable stone. It allows water to pass through it. The outer pavers were partially installed over poorly constructed concrete. It cracked during the first winter's freeze. They were also installed much higher than the adjacent concrete. Many of the pavers cracked. Sand was used for the base under the pavers in the second attempt to install them properly. Water started washing away the sand, creating voids under the pavers. Travertine is very soft and brittle. It cracks very easily when walked on if there are hollow spots under it.
Let's do it the right way.
Are you ready? Tools needed. Supplies and materials needed. From scrap pieces of wood or plywood, make some 10 to 12-inch long stakes. Cut the points with a jigsaw, miter saw, or just buy some. I place them about 42 inches apart, 8 inches away from the edge, then mark the slope on the stake. This decking is less than 4 feet wide at its widest point. I used a 4-foot level to check and transfer the slope onto the stakes. Checking the slope. Remove the pavers. Place them in the same order they go in. Make sure you leave yourself enough working room when relocating them. I make wood forms using 1x4s and 2x2 wood stakes for my paver installations. It has many more uses compared to the more common buried pipe method. Make the stakes out of 2x4s. Cut the 2x4s down the middle. You can use a circular saw or even a jigsaw. Mark a 45-degree line with a speed square at the length of the stakes. Cut them to length on the 45-degree angle, then cut the other side of the point. Make them 16 to 20 inches long. In some soil, they have to be driven deeper to have enough sturdiness. I removed the sand and exposed the existing crushed granite. Removing the poured concrete, I realized a hammer wasn't going to do it. It's time to use a chipping hammer and a 1.5-inch chisel. It's not a chisel, it wasn't in the case. I had to improvise. I grabbed a 5/8-inch concrete drill bit and used it as a chisel. Ha! It worked! Remove all the broken concrete. I compacted the existing loose crushed granite with some of the leftover concrete. Remove the grass and enough soil to make room for at least 4 inches of crushed granite. After driving the stakes, I marked them with the height of the pavers with the existing slope. Mark the 1x4 for length using the speed square. Cut the 1x4 using a jigsaw or circular saw. I draw a line that indicates the bottom edge of the pavers on the forms, adding more crushed granite, compacting it once again. I use a small piece of 2x4 to compact where the tamper couldn't get to. Adding even more crushed granite. Dampen it if it's too dry. Compact once again. I use a 1x6 for a screed board. Notch both bottom ends for the thickness of the pavers and cut the bottom edge on a 45-degree angle. The angle allows the board to cut through without pulling up material with it. This is the end of Part 1. Please come back next week for the continuation in Part 2. Thank you for watching. Give us a like, comment, share, but most of all subscribe.